Hi, I'm Tyler. This is my first video. I'm actually talking directly into the camera, so it's probably going to be as awkward for you as it is for me, but we're gonna make it work because this is something I want to do. And going off of that, I'm going to be talking about my New Year's resolution, which is just to help as many people as I can while creating content, because those are two things that I'm very passionate about. Helping people and doing things like that, it came to mind just because last year was a big change in my life. I think I've evolved a lot mentally and emotionally to the point to where I'm finally happy, if that makes sense, because before I don't think I was. I was on the scale of things, depressed and a lot of other mental things that I was dealing with, but I think I'm finally able to say that I've overcome them, and I'm still in the process actually of overcoming them now that I'm actually diving deeper into it. And for this video, I want to be able to show and explain how I got out of it so people could avoid the situation of depression if they haven't already dealt with it, or if you are currently dealing with it. I want to be able to help you get out of it. I don't think this is going to work for everyone, but these are the things that worked for me. I think at some point in everyone's life, people do get into kind of a state of depression or at least deep sadness, and I think that's just a way I think that's something everyone has to deal with and go through, and it's a way to evolve as a person. So over these last few years, and for basically as long as I could remember, I was pretty depressed and just overall sad. I was lonely, self-destructive. I was a contradiction because I needed to be in social situations. I had a great need to do it, but then when I was in the social situations, I was a pretty big introvert and just wouldn't talk to people. But if I wasn't going out on every Saturday night, doing something, if I was just left alone in my apartment by myself, I would get into a pretty self-destructive state just because I didn't feel like I was doing enough, and I'd beat myself up when I did go out because I wasn't talking to anyone and wasn't fitting to the standards that I set for myself. And going through high school, I was bullied pretty heavily for a speech impediment that I had, and just was not a popular person, if that makes sense. I was a lot more awkward than I am now, surprisingly. I used to eat lunch in the school locker room just to be away from everyone else because I was too scared of getting picked on because I wasn't a big person. I hit puberty pretty late, so my voice is still pretty high freshman and sophomore year of high school, and I would get picked on a lot for that. Moving on to college, I would find myself a lot dangling my feet over a ledge, wondering if I should jump and just end it all, and it just wasn't a good situation to be in all around. I was not happy with where I was in life. There were a lot of things going well for me, a lot of situations that I was put into that would greatly benefit me, but I just was not happy with where I was. I just felt like I wasn't where I was supposed to be. And I think I finally got out of that state when I hit an epiphany, actually, when I first moved to where I currently am at now after college. I was lying on the floor of actually this apartment, and it was in my first month. This was when I didn't have a job yet or anything, and I just didn't have as many friends that I was expecting to have when I moved here because I had high expectations for myself moving here. And so just not meeting those, I was beating myself up pretty hard, and I was getting into a pretty dangerous state that night. And just while I was in the middle of it, I was scared to death that I was going to do something to hurt me or hurt my family and friends. And I just decided that I needed to change something, that I could not stay in this state of being. So after that, I started researching just ways to be happy and ways to fix myself. And then after that, I started working on myself, and I contribute a lot of this to that. A lot of people are in the situation to where they feel bad about themselves, are not self-confident enough to put themselves out there in the social situations, and they are the introverts that don't want to be, the people that get social anxiety. And I overcame that all by working on myself. I strongly believe that Working on yourself will help you through a lot of the situations with depression and low self-confidence. And it's about working on yourself, not other people, not focusing on what other people think about you. It's not focusing on how many friends you have or anything like that. It's about how good do you feel about yourself, and it doesn't matter really what anyone else thinks as long as you feel good about yourself. And by going through that whole process of working on myself, I did things like meditate, I did affirmations, I started working out more, I just tried to do everything I can, read a lot of books, a lot of different tests, trials and errors with just trying to better myself every day and truly be a better person today than I was yesterday. And that's not just financially or anything like that. It's like putting in the effort to make yourself happy and to change the way you think about the world. Because if you wake up every day and you think that today is going to be a bad day, it's going to be a bad day. That's just how the universe is going to treat it. The day is only as good as you make it. It's what you make of it. So if you wake up thinking it's going to be a bad day, it's going to be self-fulfilling prophecy and it's going to be a bad day. But if you're working on yourself and trying to make each day better than the last, it'll grow and grow and grow to the point to where I feel like I'm getting towards, and that's like having every day be a good day because I'm working on myself and I'm not relying on other people to make my day a good day. It's things that I'm doing. Like I wake up every morning and I meditate, have a good smoothie, and after work and everything, I take time to sit down and just read a book to try to enhance my thought processes and mental states, like going over philosophies. And even what I've been focusing on for the past 4 months of my life is just how can I be the best me I could possibly be. And I'm not gonna lie, since moving here I still don't have the largest friend group, except I've been very busy focusing on myself. Like at least once a month I spend 2 hours meditating on top of a mountain to try to figure my life out for the next month, and I just create plans and things like that. With meditating, it's the same thing, just trying to clear my head and just deal with being happy and being happy by myself. Like that was the biggest change that I had going through this whole process, is being okay with being by yourself, like not needing a big social circle and needing to know everyone. Like I know I'm an introvert and I'm accepting that about myself more and more, and I'm accepting the traits of being an introvert without the consequences of being sad afterward and not thinking that I'm good enough, because now I know what I am worth to myself. So when other people maybe reject me or things like that, or don't want to be my friends, or don't think I'm the most interesting person even, I don't really take that to heart. And I'm just, okay, where's the next opportunity to better myself and better where I am? Because the number one goal in life is to make yourself happy and to make the people around you happy, except you can't do that unless you're truly accepting of yourself, and because you can't give value to anyone else unless you first value yourself. I also got rid of all negativity in my life to the point to where I don't watch any sad movies or sad videos, because I know when I was in my dark state, I would watch sad multi-fandom videos of just and people crying and sad movies and things like that, and it gave me relief where it's like, hey, I'm not the only person going through like dark times and sad times, and I'm not the only one feeling this, right? Like I related to the people, except at the end of the day it just kept me in that mindset. So I've completely cut those out of my life. I cut sad movies out of my life. Even I don't even follow the news anymore, just because of how sad like everything is right now. And you can call that ignorant, but going back to what I was saying, making yourself happy is the best way you can make other people happy. Everything's about the mindset you have about yourself, and the more that you can improve that, I believe that the happier you're going to be. It's all about getting that mindset switch. It's not a fast like one day process. So it's like, hey, I'm happy, except it's just by the constant working on yourself. I'm starting this YouTube channel to just force myself to be a better person in my mind, and to be doing more things like my monthly YouTube videos, to where I'm going out and just like forcing myself to do things on the weekends that I wouldn't normally do, just for like creating content and doing videos like these just to help people. Like I want to start taking myself in photography, cinematography seriously. So I'm gonna try to be doing a lot more cinematic shots and just making myself more versatile as a person. And this is something that I am passionate about, and I'm pursuing it. Like, I just bought this camera, very expensive camera that I might not even be able to afford, but it makes me happy. And I'm excited to use it. I'm excited to go out every weekend and do all these things with it that I wouldn't normally do, like force myself to go to hikes, travels, hang out with friends, go to social events, things like that. It's just when you have the kind of mindset where it's like, hey, I'm working on myself. Like, I have a status for myself that I don't care what anyone else thinks. That creates a energy around you that gravitates people towards you because they know that you don't care really what they think. And because you have validated yourself in your mind, you don't need other people to validate you. It's just you need to be the only person that can give you validation. Just be you, work on yourself. Not everything's going to work. I've tried affirmations and things like that, and those personally didn't work for me, and I know that they work for a lot of people. So I say try everything that you possibly can. Try waking up early, try working out, doing everything that you possibly can to improve your mindset without relying on other people to improve that, because other people aren't consistent. Other people are not going to always be there for you. Yeah, that's everything that I have for this video. I hope everyone has a happy 2022. I'm very excited for what I got in store for this channel and just for my life. So if you guys could subscribe and like this video. I'm not expecting too many people just because this is my second ever video that I am posting on YouTube, but all the support helps, and I'm just trying to get my word out there and just try to be the best person I can be, and I feel like this is a great way to do it. Like, I have a lot of videos planned that are going to help people and things like that, so if you could show support, that would be amazing. So yeah, thank you guys.